The surprising downfall why self-checkout is no longer profitable for retailers, I find that hard to believe. I mean, I'm going to watch this video, but before I watch it, real quick, there's a reason why I see them like everywhere. You know, you see like one person managing like 6 self-checkouts because they don't have to pay the labor costs of like 6 people when they can do one. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There could be something I don't know, but to me it doesn't make sense.
In the age of digital convenience, self-checkout stations were once heralded as a game changer in retail, a tool that promised shorter lines, faster transactions, and reduced labor costs. Nearly every
That reduced labor costs. That's the whole point, right? Instead of paying someone $40,000, maybe $50,000 a year, they could just replace them with a computer and train the customer to manage the system. Why pay someone to check out items for the customer when the customer could train the customer to check out items themselves and they can leave? Win-win, right? Customer doesn't have to talk to anyone, but if the customer needs service, I mean, they're screwed. But or the self-checkout is broken or something. But for some reason, our society accepted this, that we let the corporations train the customer to do their jobs and to buy things and leave. I know some people love self-checkout. They'd rather do that. To each their own, right?
Major retailer jumped on board, installing these machines in stores across the country, each one a promise of a futuristic, cost-saving solution.
They greet you
89 cents.
Scan your groceries, take your money.
Really surprising. I didn't even know that they could do skimmers on self-checkout.
He says skimmers are placed on existing card readers to intercept data, including your card number and PIN.
In stores right across Canada, but are they more convenient or are they just cumbersome? Now, some retailers are choosing to remove the automated lanes altogether.
But today, there's a surprise.
Those scammer card readers, I mean, I've seen that at like convenience stores, you know, where the person managing the register is in on it. But I never thought of it like card scanner readers to steal people's credit card information could be done at like a Target or something, right? I guess it depends on the small retailer. Like a small retailer, I'm sure they can get away with it, but a big one like maybe like Walmart or something, I don't know about that. But I could see that as a possibility. You know, that could find a company a lot of money.
Twist to this story. Many of these retailers are quietly reevaluating their self-checkout strategies, with some even scaling back or removing them entirely. So, what happened? How did a technology that once seemed so promising fall out of favor with retailers? The answer lies in a series of unexpected consequences, both financial and social, that have shifted the self-checkout landscape. In this video, we'll dive deep into why self-checkouts are no longer the profitable innovation they once were thought to be. We'll examine the hidden costs, the impact on store theft, and the surprising toll on customer satisfaction. Could
The store theft one, I know when they were first coming out, you can just be like, I'll scan like half these items and pay, and no one's going to notice. And you could get away with that. I've seen a lot of people do that. And there's definitely places like Dollar Tree that happens. And I feel like the person who's managing like the 6 registers, they probably see it and say, I don't care. I get paid like $12 an hour. I'm not going to chase down people and risk my life over freaking 3 packs of bubble gum and weird looking spaghetti. Like if some people are just going to scan out the items, I don't care. Let them have it. But yeah, I could see that. But then, you know, some places like, I know like Target or whatnot, in my grocery store nearby, Fry's, they have like a weight sensor. So they know if if you try to throw an item in there and you didn't scan it, be like, hey, the weight's off. Get that item, put it back and scan it. It's like, oh wow, they got me. Plus there's cameras in your face and whatnot.
checkouts soon be a relic of the past? Or will retailers find a way to make them work in today's retail environment? Let's explore.
The rising cost behind
While self-checkout machines were initially celebrated as a cost-cutting measure, the true expenses
Did she just scan that lettuce?
behind these systems tell a different story. Each machine, on average, costs retailers between $10,000 and $25,000 to install, depending on the model and capabilities. Beyond the initial installation, maintenance and software updates come with recurring expenses that can add up quickly. Just like any technology, these machines require regular servicing to prevent breakdowns.
So that's the job you want to be in. The person who does the maintenance on the self-checkout. The person who does the maintenance on all these self-checkouts and the software updates and whatnot. That's the job you want to be in. Especially with a bunch of companies wanting to get involved and thinking that they're saving money on self-checkout. Why not? Might be worth it.
A necessity that becomes even more pressing during high-traffic shopping seasons. But the costs don't end there. As self-checkout systems gain complexity with AI enhancements and other features aimed at reducing errors, their overall operating expenses increase. Many retailers face growing software licensing fees, cybersecurity measures, and technical support costs, which have all risen in recent years. Add to this the expense of managing unexpected customer issues and delays that require employee intervention, and the supposed savings start to look more like an ongoing investment with diminishing returns. The hidden costs extend beyond just money, impacting the customer experience as well. When a machine malfunctions or a complex transaction stalls, frustrated customers often need a staff member to assist, turning what was supposed to be a seamless process into a time-consuming one.
This just reminded me. I think I was at a Walmart. I'm pretty sure it was a Walmart because this is crazy. It was just weird. Someone was really frustrated at the self-checkout, punched the screen, and walked away. And he broke the screen, obviously. You know, it's all cracked and you can see like the pixelated screen. To me, I was like, wow, someone did that. Thinking about it now was hilarious because he was so frustrated. And I get the frustration because I've had moments where I wanted to punch the screen. Like I'm scanning things and it's like, it stops and says, oh, we need assistance. And you're just there waiting for that one person who's managing like 6 other registers to come and help you. And it's frustrating. But yeah, I can see the frustration. And I've been stuck before with self-checkout.
With every stalled transaction, the efficiency retailers hoped for dwindles, eroding the financial benefits of these systems.
The impact of theft.
One of the biggest surprises for retailers embracing self-checkout has been the surge in shrinkage, or loss from theft. While theft is a common concern in retail, self-checkout stations present a unique set of challenges that can significantly amplify losses. Some customers might take advantage of the less supervised nature of self-checkout to scan items improperly, switch price tags, or simply walk out without paying. This honor system approach leaves retailers vulnerable to both intentional and accidental losses. Research indicates that stores with self-checkout stations report a substantial increase in shrinkage, with some studies showing up to a 4% rise in loss rates. To combat this, retailers have attempted to install anti-theft measures like weight sensors, AI-powered cameras, and even stricter verification processes. However, these security enhancements come at a cost and aren't foolproof. As a result, the additional expenses to control theft often outweigh the initial savings self-checkout was meant to deliver. Furthermore,
so you're paying these automated systems basically the same price as a human being would, right? It could be more, right? You're thinking, oh, I don't need labor. I'm cutting out on labor costs. But then all these fees stack up, right? People are stealing. You have to pay the licensing fees that keep going up over time. You have to pay for the latest, greatest self-checkout system, maintenance behind it. A lot of things go into it. Something I never thought of that. And it gets to the point where it costs just as much as a human being, maybe. If it costs 25 grand for, like, say, a really good self-checkout system, and you're probably paying another 25 grand on top of that per year for maintenance and the licensing fees and everything else that goes onto it. Because it's not like a one and done payment. It never is. There's a lot that goes to it.
Employees are now tasked with a dual role of assisting customers and monitoring for potential theft, a responsibility shift.
No, they're not. Monitoring for potential theft. I definitely seen those people, especially like someone like this, you know, much older looking. They just don't care. They're like, dude, they don't pay me enough to be security. If you're walking out stealing stuff, I don't care. I'm not gonna risk my life.
That can cause stress and impact job satisfaction. This adds an unforeseen layer to the cost equation as retailers try to balance theft prevention with customer support, creating an operational tug of war that complicates the supposed efficiencies of self-checkout.
The decline in customer satisfaction.
While self-checkout was intended to provide a convenient, quick option for customers, the reality has proven more complex. Studies show a mixed response from consumers regarding their self-checkout experiences, with many citing frustrations over unclear instructions, technical malfunctions, and a perceived lack of support from in-store staff. In fact,
that's how you get people to punch their screens, and now you have to pay to fix it. What are you gonna do? Follow the guy out to their car? No, they're not gonna do it. Especially the employee, they're not gonna care. Be like, dude, I'm not gonna risk my life.
Some surveys indicate that over 30% of shoppers actively avoid using self-checkouts, preferring instead the personal touch and assistance of a human cashier. The detachment some customers feel in a self-checkout line can negatively impact their perception of a retailer's brand.
I'm not doing it because I feel detached or if I really need a human interaction. I just want, if there's a problem, I want someone who can do it. Especially when I'm checking out like produce, like fruits and vegetables. Someone can just like weigh it and type whatever code to find the product and boom, good to go. I tried that at self-checkout. It was buttons like, oh, find your vegetables. And there's like 20 different types of tomatoes. I'm like, I don't know. I just got tomatoes because the wife told me to get them, and I'm what am I doing? Just let me go. That's why I'd rather have a real person. Just in case something comes up, they fix it, not me. I'm the customer. I'm here to buy it. I'm not here to work for you, okay?
For customers who struggle with technology or simply prefer human interaction, self-checkout stations can make the shopping experience feel cold and transactional. Retailers find themselves in a tricky position as they try to appeal to tech-savvy customers without alienating those who value in-person service. Additionally, there's an emotional component that's difficult to quantify, but impacts brand loyalty. The feeling of being left to do it yourself. For customers in a hurry or dealing with complex purchases, this hands-off approach can lead to frustration and impatience, ultimately affecting their likelihood of returning. Ironically, what was supposed to be a faster, more efficient process has turned into a point of friction, especially as self-checkout stations become more widespread and customers face longer lines at these machines than anticipated.
You know what? It's probably the main reason why I try to avoid Walmart now. Because I know there's going to be like maybe one person available, a real person at a register, like the traditional register. And that always has a long line because people want to be with that real person. But the self-checkout, there's a lot of them available, but like that's always frustrating. And half the machines work because people are probably punching them because they're so frustrated with them. But plus, you know, Walmart already has terrible customer service. Like if you're looking for something, you need help, you're not going to find someone. And if you do find them, they're just like, they roll their eyes and they don't want to help you because they don't get paid. They don't get paid anything. They get frustrated. That's why I'd rather go to Walmart. Not Walmart, Target rather, like this picture. I know Target prices on items cost a little bit more than Walmart, but hey, to me it's worth it because the customer service is worth it. You know, if I have a problem, they don't fight me. They don't give me a hard time. I always check out with a real person. Now I understand. You know, I'm probably just getting, pushing 40 here, so it's probably me being all cold and grumpy and like, I want to speak to a real person. I don't know, maybe the Gen Z's siding with me on this. Because right now, I'm totally siding with the boomers.
As we've explored, self-checkout has turned out to be a double-edged sword for many retailers. What began as a promising innovation in cost savings and customer convenience has revealed unforeseen challenges that cut into the bottom line. From the rising expenses of maintenance and upgrades to the loss prevention hurdles and the impact on customer satisfaction, self-checkout systems often bring more complexity than simplicity to the retail experience. Ultimately, the question remains, is self-checkout sustainable for the long term, or will it go the way of other once promising retail innovations that ultimately fell short? Some retailers may choose to refine and evolve self-checkout technology, while others might reduce or phase out these stations altogether in favor of a return to human interaction. In the end, what matters most is the balance between cost efficiency and the quality of the customer experience. As you think about your own shopping experiences, what role do you believe self-checkout should play in the future of retail? Should stores double down on this technology or focus more on the human touch that many shoppers still crave? Leave a comment below, and let's discuss how retailers can strike the right balance between innovation and service.
I feel like self-checkout is best for like express, like 10 items or fewer. Instead of like, if you have a bunch of crap, that self-checkout is going to be held on by someone for a long time. And if they have an issue on one item, they could have another issue with another item. They could be on that machine for a long time. But I think self-checkout will be around. There's going to be people who prefer self-checkout. There's plenty of people who's going to comment and say, I prefer self-checkout. And that's fine. But not everyone does. And not everyone should be forced to use the self-checkout lane just because a company wants to cut out costs on labor. But, this video, surprised me in some areas that like, hey, the cost of a self-checkout system is probably going to cost more than having an actual person working there. Just like maintenance and the licensing fees. I never thought of it like that. I thought like, pay 25 grand for one machine, you're good. You don't have to pay someone yearly. But 25 grand plus the maintenance fees, who knows what the maintenance fees or how often you have to swap out these machines. You don't know how often people are going to punch the screen. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm sure it's not often, but yeah, I'm sure they get broken. Like people get frustrated, they smash their fist on the thing, it breaks. The sensitivity of the wear, right, goes off. A lot of maintenance that could add up to the point of like, why even bother? Let's just have people do this again. I'm going to read some comments, see if there's anything interesting in there. The first comment says, there was a story about a woman who was accused of theft because of the self-checkout malfunction. She won a multi-million-dollar settlement with Walmart. Can someone write in the comments and confirm if that's true or not? Because that's something else. Next comment says, my former company installed 6 self-checkouts after we, the cashiers, begged them not to. They didn't listen and promised us that no hours would be cut. Guess what? They cut hours drastically after they were installed. 1 year later, that company lost from a single store over $100,000 in customer theft. Now you got to pay more for anti-theft. And now you got to pay more for like everything else that comes involved with the anti-theft, the licensing, the maintenance behind it. And it's probably going to cost more than a real person just making sure things are not stolen. Saved on labor, but no reduction in prices. Money saved went to CEO and shareholders. You know what? That's so true. I've heard so much about these companies saying like, labor costs. Because of labor costs, prices of food go up and up and up. So if they have all these self-checkouts and they cut costs on labor, but the price of food is still the same, if not higher. So yeah, if you want to catch BS, or call BS rather, I'm calling BS on these companies. So yeah, that's a good point. That's one of my favorite comments. Trader Joe has no self-checkout, but the line moves very fast because it always well staffed to ensure minimum wait time. Yeah, I go to Trader Joe's all the time. Actually, I've been going there more often now that I think about it. And they have no self-checkout. It's weird because their checkouts are like really small, but like the person, you go there, they take your card, like, let me take your card, and they just scan everything and like, you're good to go. It's like, well, they actually do provide good service. It's amazing what can be done when you treat your employees right. If you focus on the employees, the employees will take care of the customer. But companies are so focused on like, let's figure out where we can cut everywhere so we can please the shareholders. If you please at the expense of the employees, and when the employees are not doing well, you're treating the employees like crap, pay them crap, they're not going to take care of the customers. And then customers like me try to avoid these places like Walmart and all these other places that stink. I do everything I can to not go into a Walmart. I don't like Walmart at all. There's moments where it's like it can't be helped. Like you're in a different town, the only thing that's available is a Walmart to get whatever you need. Okay, whatever. but I try to avoid Walmart like the plague. And if there's a store you try to avoid because of crap service, let me know. Why have self-checkouts when something always happens when you need a store employee to come and help anyway? Yeah, especially if you're purchasing alcohol. Someone has to come to you. Or if the system's not working, like sometimes I have it just screwed up, or like my situation with produce, like, fruits, vegetables, like I can't get this thing to identify what I'm buying and I need someone to come help me. Like, it's frustrating. And you have to wait for them because they're helping out like 5 other people with similar issues. It's like, this is dumb. I'm just here waiting when I should be gone a long time ago. I'll read one more comment. I'm one of the 30% who actively avoid the self-checkout lines. Furthermore, I have noticed that the stores I shop are reopening more of the cashier lines, so the time savings are on the side of the cashiers. Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, I've noticed that, like, when I go to like Sprouts and Trader Joe's, there's like all the registers open. You go in and out right away. Costco's like that. I shop at Costco all the time. They have their own like self-checkout, but I never use it. I definitely, because every time I go to Costco, I'm buying like 2 weeks worth of stuff. There's no way I want to check all those items myself. I want someone, to handle it in case something comes up and do it. Because I don't work there. I was never trained to use the cash register. I'm the customer. Leave me alone. I'm not going to do it. If I'm checking this out, can I get a discount? Like, I don't know. Do I get paid for this? Like something. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just delusional. I don't know. If you agree with me, disagree with me, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe, especially if you made it this far in the video. And other than that, until next time. Bye.